Welcome to Tech Savvy, and welcome to the LaGrange campus of West Georgia Tech. We're doing this episode in the Automotive lab, and we've got Seth Massey, our lead instructor, to tell us what's going on in here. We've got some big plans for this lab, don't we?
We do. We do have big plans for this lab. We are in the process right now of starting dual enrollment in the fall. We also have plans to do a renovation. There are two steps to the renovation. The wall behind us needs to come down first, and then after the wall behind us comes down, there are plans in the works. I don't know how far along they are, but they want to do a 3,200 square foot expansion to the automotive lab.
Out back.
Well, that's actually right out that door right there.
Okay.
And it would give us 5 more bays to work with. We would get another alignment machine, another alignment rack, and it would bring so much more potential to this area to train automotive technicians.
Well, it looks like to me we have some potential automotive technicians back there working hard. And they're working on a Kia.
Yes, ma'am, they are.
That's pretty good.
Yes,
I guess Kia's been very supportive of our program.
They have. They've been very supportive of our program, not only on the LaGrange campus, but across all 4 campuses that have automotive.
Right. Well, that's good. But none of them ever break down, right?
No, they do not break down. They
need maintenance.
They simply need maintenance or need repairs or warranty work or recalls or things like that.
When that diagnosis equipment came in, it was really kind of cool because it's just a little iPad kind of thing, isn't it? And all you do is just plug it into the machine.
Yes, ma'am. It plugs into the Kia through the OBD2 port, and we could actually go in there and change fuel trims and change fuel maps and things like that with it. And it's been such a great help and training my students on how to work on Kia vehicles.
But other people, there are other models. What do you do about those?
The other models, we have snap-on scan tools that we use. Of course, there are also manufacturer-based, like Kia's GDS. GM has a Tech 2. Ford's got their own. There are just so many different scan tools that we can use and diagnostic equipment that we can use. We can't have all of them, so we use the snap-on diagnostic equipment.
And that's kind of universal.
Yes, ma'am.
That works out really well. Well, when you have your dual enrollment students in the fall, tell me what you plan on doing with them.
They are going to be going to high school and getting college level credit coming out here taking automotive classes. The way it's going to work out, they will take 2 years of automotive, and then when they graduate high school, they'll have to come back that summer. When they come back that summer and complete 2 automotive classes, they will be done with automotive.
Well, when you say done, what will they have, a certification?
They will have 6 certificates.
Okay, and what are they going to be in? There
will be 1 in electrical, 1 in chassis specialist, 1 in transmission specialist, engine repair, engine performance, and HVAC.
Well, that's a lot. So they could go to work right when they graduate.
Absolutely.
Well, is that what dealers need these days? Is somebody with those certificates? Is that what they're looking for?
The certificates show the dealers and show the shops that you are dedicated to your profession and that they wanted to do this. You know, when you get those certificates, it shows them that you understand the basics of automobiles.
Okay, so in other words, it's giving you the basics, and then you would go to the dealer or the dealership and you would learn from them how to work on the specifics.
If you go to a dealership, they will train you on their vehicles.
But you've got the foundation that you need, that when you go in there, you don't ask stupid questions.
Right. I try to tell my students to take their ASE certification test while they're in school. The great thing about automotive service excellence, you know, the ASE foundation and everything like that is technical college counts for 1 year of work experience. Because you are in the lab with your hands-on stuff, and they are working on vehicles like the students are behind us here. This counts as 1 year of work experience where you need 2 years of work experience to be ASE certified. If you pass the test, that's great. You pass the test, you have a year of work experience. You'll need a year in a shop. And that's where I come in to help my students get jobs in the automotive field while they're here. So when they graduate and they have taken the ASE certification tests,
They're ready to go.
They're ready to go. They're ASE certified.
Because they've got the 2 years work
Yes.
experience. So you're recommending that we get juniors to come in from high school so that when they get out and take that last summer semester, then they've got the 2 years of experience that they need, and that's a win-win situation from
Yes.
any employer, right?
Yeah. The 2 years that are here counts as 1 year towards ASE, and you still need 1 year of live in the lab or in the field work.
Right.
So.
But they'll get that second year, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just trying to get it all straight, because that to me is and it doesn't cost the high school student a dime.
Doesn't cost them a penny. So.
That to me is like, if somebody likes to work on cars, that would be a fun way to spend your junior and your senior year.
Absolutely.
And you could help people in the meantime. So, well, that's good. Now tell me, you said you were going to get some new equipment. Should we get the funding
Yes.
to enhance this facility? So you said you were going to get another aligner?
Another alignment machine, another alignment rack, which that is right here to our right.
And that aligns the wheels?
Yes. That tells you if you have something bent in the suspension system, how off it is. You know, it helps with, say your car is driving down the road and it constantly pulls to the left or pulls to the right. You know, this tells us what's wrong with it, and we can fix that with that.
And it messes up your tires bad.
Yes,
too.
it does mess up your tires.
You don't want to mess up those tires. They're expensive.
Yes, they are.
All right. Well, tell me what else have you got in you're also teaching on other campuses right now. Tell me
Yes.
Tell me where else you're teaching.
I teach right now until they find another instructor at the Noonan campus.
Right.
The CEC, and that's teaching high school students. So
How do you like it?
I'm getting my feet wet. Getting my feet wet. There are differences that I notice in high school students in Coweta and high school students from down here.
Really?
Yes.
Like they just.
It's different areas. They're from different areas, and they do different things. They interact differently.
Okay.
You know.
Well, that's exciting. Then you've got some experience under your belt for working
Yes.
with high school students. All right. Well, what else have you got planned?
Well, we are planning to offer, I'd like to get it in the books about trying to do a general, car care class.
Right.
Like a 1 credit hour class or something like that.
Well, you do a continuing ed class.
Right. We could do that to where, people who could come in, they don't know how to check their oil, don't know how to check their tire pressures, don't know how to change a tire.
Right.
That way they won't be stranded on the side of the road. They know this and they understand the foundations and the basics of it, and they could get themselves off the side of the road.
And they can tell the service people what's wrong.
Right.
Or at least point them in the right direction.
Right. And when they go to dealerships, they won't get the, somebody trying to take advantage of them. They'll know
what to ask.
Right.
Right. Well, that's a good information, because I don't think I could change a tire if I had to.
It's not that hard. I promise you
it's not that hard. I know.
My wife can do it, and my daughter's 1, and I'm training her how to do it right
now.
now.
Go on and get her ready, just
Yeah.
in case of an emergency. Well, that's exciting. So if we do the dual enrollment, and then you teach classes, it's like what we did in the industrial classes. We have if you're on a shift, you can, if you're doing shift work, you can have classes in the morning or at night.
Yes,
do you
ma'am.
work with students like that?
I do, because Kia is such a big part, and all of their companies that they have working for them are such a big part of this industry in this area, that if someone who is going to Kia, who's working at Kia or working at Mobis or Glovis or something like that, I work with them. I work with them on their schedule, to where if they need to come take classes for 6 weeks during the night and then come for 3 weeks during the day, I can offer that. I will work with them like that.
That to me is, I've always heard that was an issue sometimes in the industry, but now, especially with our industrial classes and our automotive classes, that's important to be able to work around the schedule of a student.
I don't want to not offer anyone an opportunity that they're willing to take advantage of.
Right. If you had Move On When Ready in high school, would you have taken advantage of it?
Absolutely. They didn't offer automotive at my high school. They offered construction, but I took it anyways because I always wanted to do stuff with my hands. I wasn't big in the English or the math or anything like that, but I still enjoyed those classes, but not as much as getting my hands dirty and working on stuff and building stuff. So if they offered Move On When Ready, I would have taken advantage of it, and I would have run with it.
So you took construction in high school, and that was good information, though. I mean, you use it now?
Yeah, I use it. I'm in the process of remodeling my basement at home.
Well, that's convenient,
and
isn't it?
I'm doing that, so.
Well, that's important. I know the need is out there
Yes.
for construction workers. Well, so our graduates from your program, they go to, they would work in at a dealership or auto repair shop.
Auto repair facility, shop.
And somebody with your experience that you're giving them and teaching them out here, are they better prepared than most employees out there, or?
They are better prepared than someone their age that has just worked on vehicles in their backyard, because they have the proper training. They know what to do. They know how to use a scan tool. They know how to use an alignment machine. And troubleshoot.
That's a serious word out there
Yes,
in the industry
yes.
now, is troubleshooting, because some people just don't know.
Right.
And then they don't know like they don't know how to tell the safety people the repair people what to work on.
Right.
I'll go in and I'll say, it sounds like it's not breathing right.
Yeah. Or it's making a noise, and they make a funny noise, and
and it just kind of squeaks a little bit.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Well, Seth, we've run out of time for this segment, and thank you for having us here in your
Not a problem
wonderful
at all.
lab. It's very impressive.
Thank you.
And I'm going to get to talk to some of your students in just a minute.
Yeah, sure.
So I look forward to finding out what they've actually learned and what they plan on doing with their
Okay.
lives. So,
All right.
well, thank you very much for joining us, and then we'll be back in a few minutes to talk to some students about what they learned at West Georgia Tech.
I was a graduate 2 years ago from West Georgia Technical College. I received my associate's degree in fire science, and I'm a full-time firefighter EMT at Church County Fire Department. My study habits were, here at work, I was able to, during off time, actually study even more because I wanted to keep a 4.0 GPA throughout the class, and I ended up being on the National Honor Society. By doing online classes, I was able to achieve more credits in a shorter period of time instead of just depending on in-classroom classes. The instructors and my advisors were easily accessible either by phone or by email anytime I had a question about a class. Taking online classes, you did have to be very self-motivated. It was a big change from actually sitting in a class with other students asking questions that you may not think of at the time, but when you're doing it by yourself, you have to think of all the questions.
Welcome to Tech Savvy, and welcome to the LaGrange campus of West Georgia Tech. We're in the Automotive lab. We've recently just talked to the instructor, Seth Massey, and he's picked out these two very talented and smart students, and we're going to talk to them about what they're learning at West Georgia Tech. Okay, and you've been here before.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you learned anything since the last time we talked?
Oh, you better believe it.
Good. Tell me about it.
Well, last semester we were taking steering and suspension. So I've learned how the steering system works, how the suspension works, you know, your shocks, your struts, your upper control arms, your lower control arms, just the gist of what keeps your car.
Cars have arms?
To an extent, yeah, they have arms.
Okay, okay. And they work?
Yes, ma'am. They keep it to where you ride smooth down the road and it doesn't feel like you're just bouncing all over the place.
Right, right. That's important. So is it supposed to be tight?
Well, there's different kinds of suspension. You have soft suspension, stiff suspension, you know, like some of those rally trucks, you know, they have the soft suspension, so whenever you hit, it actually absorbs it instead of, you know, making it real stiff and hard ride. So, you know, you can make those big jumps.
Oh, okay. That would be dangerous, wouldn't it?
If you have the right setup, it's not dangerous.
Oh, it's not dangerous. But you've enjoyed that. Now what are you learning about?
Engine performance, you know, how the cam works, how your fuel system works, all that kind of stuff.
It's pretty impressive, isn't it?
No, it's fun. I love it.
Good. So you think you picked your right field?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
You want to spend the rest of your life doing this?
Well, I hopefully plan to retire, you know.
Yeah, one day. But you'll do it for fun after that.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
And Matthew, you just graduated from high school.
Yes, ma'am, last May.
In Manchester, you said?
Yes, ma'am.
And you live in Warm Springs, and this is your first semester at
Yes,
West
ma'am.
Georgia Tech. Would you recommend it?
I definitely would.
Have we been nice to you?
Yep.
Have we taken good care of you?
Yes, ma'am.
That's always good to hear. So what are you learning about?
Right now I'm in electrical, and we're learning about how to diagnose faults in certain electrical systems, which is pretty mandatory for automotive because nowadays all vehicles run on electrical systems.
Right.
And you got to know what fault causes what and all that.
So troubleshooting.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So when you grow up, do you want to work in a car dealership or work on cars?
Something like that. I would like to have my own repair shop one day. So.
And at your home? In your home?
Close by, yes.
Close by. Well, that's good because cars do tear up.
Yes.
So what kind of car do you have?
Right now I'm driving a 99 Cutlass.
Oh.
Yeah.
What about you?
2002 Mercury Mountaineer.
I have one of those. Those are pretty cool.
Nice ride.
They are a nice ride. So what do you think about this lab? This lab has got some pretty good equipment, don't you think?
It certainly does.
And we're fortunate to have Kia support us, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us about what you've learned about a Kia.
Well, I remember last time I was on here, I didn't say the greatest things about Kia. The more and more I go into it, those sensors start making more sense. Before, you know, I didn't know much about the whole car scene.
Because you was your first semester.
Yes, ma'am. But, you know, the more you go into it, if those sensors were to go out, they would cut off the car before damage was done.
Right.
So therefore, those sensors are actually necessary for what, you know, they're needed for. So.
I told you so.
Yes, ma'am, you did.
We're glad you've seen the light. Kia is very important to us. We had Randy Jackson on us in a previous episode, and he was very, very excited about supporting our programs here. So it's good to have them in our backyard because they do a lot of hiring for us.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
we're very fortunate to have them. So have you decided what do you want to do when you grow up?
Well, like I said, whenever I came out here the first time, that all I want to do is make cars go fast, build big engines, and put them in a small car, see how fast I can get to go down a track.
So you want to get into the racing side of it?
Yes,
then.
ma'am, most definitely.
So will you learn how to do those things in this class?
Well, that's what the engine performance part's for, but they actually have specialized schools for that.
When you get to the serious
Yes,
racing,
ma'am.
right? Well, that's going to be exciting because that's a big industry these days. Is the motor racing and all that. And you want to have a place that you can work and help people and work out.
Yes, ma'am.
That's pretty good because everybody's cars tear up at some point or another. They really do.
I've already worked on mine a few times, so
Well, good.
it's come in handy.
Yeah, I bet it has. It's very reasonable price
ma'am.
too, isn't it? Well, you do. If you had a chance to do it all over again, would you take advantage of move on when ready?
Oh, you best believe it.
That is a fabulous thing. Would you come over here and taken?
I definitely would have.
What, you would have done the same thing? Mm-hmm. Would you have taken automotive?
Oh, no doubt.
Good. That's real exciting. Do you feel like this hands-on training is a better way to learn?
Definitely, especially with automotive.
Well, anything.
I mean,
think.
you can learn from a book, but unless you get out there and actually do it,
You're not going to remember it.
no.
You're not going to. I think I would have learned a whole lot more in high school if I'd had more hands-on training.
Yep.
But that's part of technical education is the hands-on training, and you just keep to do. And the troubleshooting, I think it's really kind of neat how they will prepare you because I think they set faults and stuff like that. They set
Definitely, yep.
and then, but they probably have a list of those faults so that you will be like ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
When you can start working on those cars immediately. That's great. That's great. So you're going to get, what is it, the ASE
certification. Automotive
You're
Service
gonna
Excellence.
get that because I think that's something that the industry needs, right?
Yes.
Well, tell me, the two of y'all, tell me what you think of West Georgia Tech in general.
It's a great place. They got decent food
In the vending machine.
in the vending machines. Yes.
Good.
And the staff is great. They're
Good.
really nice. So
You've had a lot of help with your financial aid
Yes,
and
ma'am.
your registration and all that. And of course, you know that we have a tutoring service and things like that. Because y'all are taking other classes besides automotive,
ma'am.
right? What are you taking?
right now I'm taking interpersonal relations, math 1010, English 1012, and automotive.
You got a full load.
I do.
What about you?
Right now I'm only taking the mathematics class, the same one he's in actually,
Y'all in the same class?
and
Uh-huh.
this automotive class.
Who's your math teacher?
Mr. Bernardo.
NATO.
Do y'all speak Spanish?
No.
Didn't do too well in high school with that, so.
No. Well, he's a very smart man, and I'm sure you learn a lot.
He's pretty
from
nice
him.
too, so.
And English, you said?
Yes, ma'am.
What English?
1012,
1101? 1012? Who's your teacher there?
Donald Miller.
Oh, he's great.
Yep.
He's a lot of fun, and he's very good at what he does. Very good at what he does. So next semester, y'all gonna go summer school, or
Yes, I'm starting next semester as well.
you're gonna be in summer school then? You're gonna take more automotive classes?
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
You're gonna take your English?
Well, I'm already taking it, so.
You don't have to
I'm
take another
set.
English?
No.
Okay. So the certificates, so y'all gonna try to get that whole long list of certificates before you leave?
Yep.
I think you'll be well qualified for anything that comes up at this point.
Hoping so.
And it's like Seth was saying earlier that we're giving you the foundation, and then when you go to your specific jobs, you will have plenty to build on, and it won't be all new to you. And you'll, but I think now a lot of it is computerized, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it
A lot
is.
of it.
Repair. So they just plug in and it tells you what's wrong. Well, then what are you learning? I mean, I can do that.
Well, I mean, computers can't, actually fix the vehicle. They can just tell you what's wrong with it. So
That does put it in perspective.
Yeah.
That's true. So do y'all have anything you want to, like if you had a chance to talk to a high school student in Manchester, Would you tell them how great it is over here, or what would you tell them?
I would tell them that it's a great field to go into, and if you're looking to get started, West Georgia Tech is a great place for
Option.
that. Yes.
Well, I've enjoyed working with the people in Manchester and in Greenville because we have a site over there, and they are very nice people, and they really want what's best for their students. So it's been a privilege to work with them. And where'd you go to high school?
LaGrange High.
So they had automotive there, didn't they?
They did, but like I told you the first time, they didn't let me in there because I knew too many people. Yeah, you called me a problem child.
I did call you a problem child, didn't I? Well, I can tell that you are not a problem child anymore. You're going to be a poster child. How about that?
I'm going to try.
Well, anyway, thank you very much for joining me today. Will you promise me y'all will come back and keep me informed on your process?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, and thank you for being here today, and we look forward to seeing you at the next episode.
I am taking medical terminology and psychology classes online, and I have a microbiology class that I'm taking on campus. I am working at the bookstore at the school, which is very convenient, so I can actually be on campus and they work around my school schedule. I usually find time to study during my lunch breaks, and it's real convenient being at school because I can either go off campus or be on campus and get as much done online as I can. The best part of taking online classes is that I can be flexible with my schedule and still be able to be at home or on the go. And for anyone who's wanting to start online classes, it's real good that you familiarize yourself with Angel Learning, which is the website for the online courses, and to have some computer knowledge going in.
I was a graduate 2 years ago from West Georgia Technical College. I received my associate's degree in fire science, and I'm a full-time firefighter EMT at Troup County Fire Department. My study habits were, here at work, I was able to, during off time, actually study even more because I wanted to keep a 4.0 GPA throughout the class, and I ended up being on the National Honor Society. By doing online classes, I was able to achieve more credits in a shorter period of time instead of just depending on in-classroom classes. The instructors and my advisors were easily accessible either by phone or by email anytime I had a question about a class. Taking online classes, you did have to be very self-motivated. It was a big change from actually sitting in a class with other students asking questions that you may not think of at the time, but when you're doing it by yourself, you have to think of all the questions.